Hey everybody, Matt Barton with this week's Broker Minute or Two. Hey, quick question for you. When was the last time, I want you to think about this honestly, when was the last time you revisited, retooled, rethought your elevator pitches to questions like, why should I use a realtor? Why should I use you as a realtor? Is now a good time to buy? Is now a good time to sell? I want to take just a minute here and go editorial. Over my years as a principal broker, I've largely found when I ask an agent that question to be able to tell me on the spot, because that's the very nature of an elevator pitch. It's good to go, ready to go at any time. I get very mediocre at best results. A lot of ums and ahs and frankly, just shrugging the shoulders sometimes. So that is the tone of today's message. It's going to be a call to action for you to revisit your essential dialogues for when somebody asks those questions, right? All of our marketing and various things we do to have conversations quite often ends up with one of those questions. And I want us to be prepared with good answers, solid answers. Okay, so let's just start with a very high level view. I hope you understand the advantage of being at RE/MAX Associates with our essential companies, both Metro Title, Gold Insurance, Lifetime Home Loans, which is the new name for Intralend, and how that and home warranty connections, how we weave that all together into an ecosystem that helps both sellers and buyers not only successfully navigate a transaction, but have a higher probability of closing. Okay, so with that said, um, when you as an agent realize that 92% of the homes, roughly 92% of the homes that are sold nationwide, are done through the MLS, through the realtor organizations, that is a huge number. But it's not enough to just know that. You've got to be able to say that in a way that is, in marketing terms, what's in it for me, the client? Why is that important? And be able to articulate that. And maybe even more important than that is understanding, certainly right now with a shifting market, what's going on, because people are, frankly, the ones I've talked to are like confused at best and nervous or scared at worst. And so there's an opportunity for us to show our worth. Isn't it interesting that in the day and age of technology and data everywhere, where it should be easier for somebody to do a transaction on their own, that actually the percentage is increasing of people who use a realtor, a real estate agent. I think the biggest reason is because there are so many voices, so much data, so much information that people eventually just throw their hands up and like, I don't know what to do with it. And so there's a real opening for us to establish our value in that specific area. And in that one area, I want to talk about today a way to help you with your elevator pitch. All right. So UAR puts out data monthly that is good data. I'm going to show you something that has come out recently on utahrealestate.com that will help you. Please do not get overwhelmed. I know you're seeing graphs and stats in the console here. I'm going to show you 2 clicks. 2 clicks. If you come into RapidStats, which you get to via your login to utahrealestate.com, and sorry guys down in St. George, you guys have some stuff via Flex. The concept's still the same. But if I go click 1, market summary, click 2, it's the fourth item, the fourth box, monthly metrics, right? And I could put in different criteria here to shrink down the data, but it generates for you a list that looks just like UAR's list. The difference is this is a month fresher. So this gives us data all the way through the end of June. So it's 11 days old. That is pretty dang fresh. Whereas if you go to UAR, you still have data from May. All right. I wanted to show you these 2 reports that I ran from RapidStats, and how do you craft this into, or what would be kind of the process you would go through regularly as an agent so you can establish your value of knowing what's going on in the industry. So don't glaze over when you see all these graphs and all these numbers. This is so easy to navigate. Remember, 2 clicks generates this report. This one on the left with the gold box is statewide, and the one on the right is a county I selected. I selected Utah County because that's where I am. And I highlighted this box because wherever possible, try to use year-to-date data, because if you only use the monthly data, you can get some pretty large swings. Not always possible to do that. But if I was looking to create a few stats that would be useful to sellers and buyers, I just wanted to point out some. This is not the end all be all. This is just a quick example for you. So if you look in statewide on pending sales are down 24%. Well, that's just the market we're in. In Utah County, pending sales are down 51%. If I'm dealing with a seller, that's a great stat, right? If you got to move, you got to be in Houston by August 31st. We've got to get our pricing right. We've got to maybe offer some incentives to help out, et cetera, because frankly, the pending sales are drastically down. Now, there is some rationale behind that. If you look statewide down at the bottom here, month's supply of inventory actually increased in June. This is one where they don't have year-to-date data. It's just month by month. Anyway, inventory went up 30%. In Utah County, it only went up 10%. So kind of a good news, bad news. Yeah, pending sales are down, but also there's less inventory to choose from. Both of those things is good information for a seller. If I switch gears and talk about the buyers, right? Or this is actually more general, closed sales down 21%. The good news is for a seller in Utah County, it's only down 19.6%. So even though we have lower inventory, our level of sales is staying at a higher rate than statewide. Okay, but specifically for a buyer, median sales price statewide 7.8% decrease. Again, statewide. In Utah County, down 10.3%. How do I spin that to a buyer? Hey, I know pricing is crazy. We don't get to control the market we're in, but I need to point out to you that versus statewide, and whatever your county is, find the data that's beneficial to a buyer or a seller, highlight it, incorporate it in part of your elevator pitch. Anyway, I could show them that, hey, looking in Utah County right now, at least the median sales price is coming down at a faster pace than it is statewide. So it's a good time to go in. And then coming back to what I started with, if you understand and have relationship with our essential companies, our loan officers, that lifetime home loans will refinance our buyers if they buy now. In the coming year, where rates are expected to be approximately a full point lower, they will refinance them for free in the upcoming year. This helps us overcome the objections. It shows our worth. It shows that we can actually help them successfully navigate a tricky market. And if you weave this in and have those at the ready, when those questions are asked, you have a much higher possibility of securing the business. So make sure you do that. Make it a regular occurrence. I would say do it weekly. If you can't do it weekly, make sure you're doing it monthly. Hope that helps. And if I can help parse any of the data for you or show you some specifics on your market, reach out and I'll be happy to help.